Hello, my name is John. I'm extremely thankful for this opportunity to speak to you today. You can see a deer standing on the rock. This may make you think of forest, peace, loneliness, among other things. This is actually the cover of a book. I'm not going to talk about the book, but about calling. It was 17 years ago that I responded to the calling and entered my congregation. The total number of members of my congregation that year was at the peak and has not been matched so far. According to the statistics published by the Korean Catholic Church, the number of people who enter the monastic life decreased by one-third compared to 10 years ago. What is my point? Young people respond to the calling and become light for the world. This is my hope. Now, I'm going to talk about calling. Let me ask you this question. What do you think calling is? It is a holy invitation from God. The first calling was, according to the Bible, when Jesus invited disciples saying, "Follow me." We are all invited by God. I had been invited and became a Catholic nun, also a member of congregation. Have you ever heard of congregation? Congregation is a group of people who live the monastic life together with the same intention. My congregation is called Sisters of Divine Providence. It was founded in Finland, Germany to respond to the needs of the time through education and service to the sick and the poor and follow Jesus Christ. Let me just say this. Pope John Paul II visited Korea in 1984 for purification of 103 martyrs who were persecuted during the Joseon dynasty. Pope John Paul II visited Korea again in 1988 for the 44th Holy Eucharist Conference. The two visits of Pope John Paul II to Korea and the purification ceremony promoted many young adults to respond to the calling. I found some astonishing statistics regarding the number of people responding to their calling. 10 years after the Pope's visit, the number of young adults choosing the monastic life has been steadily declining from over 1,000 in the late 1990s to less than 400 recently. This is caused by economic progress, promoted materialistic happiness with diminished value in spiritual life. Monastic life is looked upon as strict adherence to rules and regulations rather than as a holy acceptance toward God's calling. It is clear that something has to be done to encourage accepting this holy invitation. I'd like to share with you the stories of three people who responded to the calling. First, my own journey to God. I am the youngest daughter of my family. When I decided to enter my congregation, I had to face severe opposition from my family, especially from my mother. She wouldn't allow me. I ran away to let my mother know of my firm determination. After 3 days, when I came back, my mother was waiting with a bunch of laws. Although she did not use them on me, she hit the family room floor instead. I had never seen my mother doing such an act in my life. I pleaded to my mom, saying, "I don't know where all this power comes from, but I cannot resist it. I have never experienced this awesome and amazing force." Eventually, she yelled and let me. I was able to enter the monastic life in 1993. The second story is about the documentary called "Don't Cry Tones." It is about the priest who was a doctor and entered the Salesian of Don Bosco and ministered in Sudan. Father Litesa lived in Sudan, infested with civil war and poverty for 7 years, offering hope for the people. He passed away last January after battling with colon cancer and has been called Shubaijol of Sudan. Father Litesa also had to overcome the opposition from his mother about his abandoning his life as a doctor to enter the seminary. Father Lee was resolute to live the Bible teaching. What you do to the least of my people is what you do to me. Father Lee had said that he was just following the fragrance from Sudan. Now, I wanna share a story about Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa dreamed of becoming a missionary since a little child and joined the Sisters of Loreto, which sent missionaries to India. Mother Teresa heard while praying the message, "Serve the poorest of the poor." Mother Teresa was a Yugoslavian, but later was naturalized to become an Indian citizen, and founded the Missionaries of Charity and served the poor in the slum of Calcutta for 50 years. And then leads me back to my original point. Although many young adults already had responded to the calling and lived the monastic life, we need to encourage many more young adults to respond to the calling. God continually calls us to live the life of love and service. It is important to have the enthusiasm to serve for the world's peace. If you have any questions about calling, you can visit my congregation's website www.somni.kr. Written by Hannah Hannah, Hind's Feet on High Places is one of the books that greatly impacted my spiritual life. Phil, the main character in the book, goes through many challenges and hardships in life to be transformed. Eventually, Phil reaches the summit with God's grace and is bestowed with a different name, grace and glory. She is no longer possessed with fear and returns to the valley to serve those who are going through life with fear as she once did. I'd like to conclude with the following statements. I pray that we overcome our weakness and respond to our calling and become a part of establishing peace using our talents. Thank you. I appreciate your attention to my presentation.